all things politics in another video, and today I wanted to go a little bit about the Maryland Senate race. There's been a lot of buzz about what will happen and who the candidates will be on the Democrat side, because we know Larry Hogan is going to be the Republican candidate, but on the Democrat side, we still don't know. So I wanted to go a little bit about it. Now, I think this political article tells a lot about what's going on and the problems on the Democrat side, where you have David Trone versus Angela Asselbrooks, who are both competing in the Democratic primary, which is going to be in about a month. Now, I'm going to go into the polling about it, but the issue that there's been is Angela Asselbrooks is a black female, and Democrat Party loves propping up black women. Now, David Trone is just a general white guy, and he has money, so that's why Democrats want him also. So it's kind of bringing up different issues of what they actually value in their candidates. But this article talks a little bit about it. Trone is explicitly making his bank account selling point, testing whether it's more important for Democrats to diversify the overwhelmingly white and male Senate or to have resources to save the deeply endangered incumbents. As the race has exploded in importance, with polls showing it tightening, top national Democrats have weighed in with any endorsements. The endorsements have been varying, but a lot of the national endorsements have been for Angela Asselbrooks, just to more prop her up for diversity. A Trone victory would mean an unbroken string of white senators from a state where nearly 1 in 3 residents is black, and raise the question about the state's values of a party that calls black women its backbone. Black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party, and this, I completely agree, this will show a lot of what they value. And they say Senate Democrats face a tough cycle, but they weren't supposed to have to worry about Maryland, which is the most funniest thing because Larry Hogan is coming in for the rescue and possibly shaking things up. Now, we know that it's either going to be David Trone or Angela Asselbrooks who are going to face Larry Hogan, but they do fare out very differently in how they face Larry Hogan, which I do have polling here. Now you can see that they poll about the same, but in this poll by Emerson Polling, which is actually a good pollster, but in other polls that I've seen, David Trone fares a little bit like 4 to 5 points better on average. So this is just one poll that you can take, and it does have a good count of people that they polled. But this is just one poll. David Trone still fares better in this poll, even though. So I think it's not a matter of if it's a matter of how much David Trone does better than Angela Asselbrooks. And will voters care about it? Now this poll shows Larry Hogan losing. There's been other earlier polls that have showed Larry Hogan winning, which I do not see, and I'll go into a little bit about that during my prediction. But I want to go a little bit about the poll. This is the Emerson poll that we just looked at, and it shows the favorability, and this is in Maryland. And Larry Hogan has an insane favorability. He has definitely more than 50% of the population having a favorable view of him. But he does have more high unfavorable. But this just shows that even if you are liked and viewed favorably, that does not correlate to votes, because Maryland is a very liberal and democratic state, and that shows. You can still like a Republican but still not vote for him. And that's even with David Trone and Angela Asselbrooks having lower favorability. But you also see, weirdly enough, David Trone has more unfavorable, has a higher unfavorable rating than Angela Asselbrooks. Maybe because he's just white and has a lot of money and people don't like that. But it's not really translating in a lot of the polling I've seen in the Democrat primary, where David Trone is doing slightly a bit better in the primary. We'll see in about a month, and I'll do another video on it. But it's not really translating in the primary, so I think that might be more. I don't know. That might be more independents who are doing that, who are not giving the Democrat primary, that have an unfavorable view of him. But I can't really make assumptions. That's just my first idea. But based on all of this, my view on this race is it's going to be a race where we will look at it before the November election, but I don't think we'll pay much attention to it. It's going to be it's not going to even be anything close to the Ohio Senate race, where we have Sherrod Brown facing a Republican candidate. And I think those ones, that one and the Montana race, are going to be the two biggest Senate races. And Maryland's just going to be you look at it, if Larry Hogan wins, cool. If Democrats win, cool. I don't think anybody's going to be really caring about this on the Republican side. But on the Democrat side, this is a must-win race. If they lose this race, that will definitely mean you just can't lose this race. And let's just play the scenario if they lose this race. You would most likely lose Ohio, Montana, and possibly Arizona. Because if you lose Maryland, you're probably losing Arizona. Because based on the polling, we've seen that's a 10-point shift. I would expect it to be around 7, which is going to my prediction a little bit. But that would be more like a 5 to 10-point shift. That's enough to flip Arizona. That's enough to flip Montana, Ohio. And they already have West Virginia, and that'd be Maryland. That'd be 5 states, and they would have a 54-seat majority, with possibly most likely Trump in the White House. And you'd have the House. So this is just a must not lose. A few reasons why they would lose is David Trone is that bad of a candidate, and his recent scandal, which I forgot to get into it, his recent scandal where he made some racial comments might influence it. That actually might explain why he has a higher unfavorability, because he made some recent remarks about racial remarks. You can watch the video. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. But he made some recent racial remarks, and people have viewed that negatively. People in the Democrat primary, we haven't gone recent polling about that yet, but we'll see. But we don't know how that'll affect the primary. But people have viewed that very negatively. That could be a reason why he has a higher unfavorability. But we can all see, if David Trone is a candidate, which my prediction is he's most likely going to be the candidate, he has the money for it, and he'll probably just outspend Angela Asselbrook so much that she can't even compete. But if David Trone is a candidate, a way he would lose would be those remarks becoming mainstream and people having a problem with it, especially with 1/3 of Maryland being black. So we will very much see. David Trone, he's a good candidate, but Larry Hogan, as you can see, is an amazing candidate. And especially in Maryland, he's probably the best shot the Republicans have in Maryland. Now my prediction is it'll probably, out of David Trone and Angela Asselbrook, I have David Trone winning by 5 to 10 points in the primary in about a month. And then once we go into the general election in November, Larry Hogan versus David Trone, I have about a 7-point victory for David Trone, 5 to 7-point victory for David Trone. So we'll very much see. That's not etched in stone, and we've only had very recent early polling. But we'll very much see. But that's going to be it from me. This is All Things Politics. Like and subscribe, and comment what you think, and I'll see y'all later.